So unfortunately, we really do have to talk about Trump here in the aftermath of the midterms 2022, because all the reports are saying that he's actually going to announce his candidacy pretty much imminently. It was actually reported that he was supposed to announce his candidacy on November 15th, 2022. And I think the idea in Trump's mind was, oh, like, he'll come in off the back of the midterm and the Republicans just kind of like winning a bunch of races. And he was going to come in off the back of that. He was going to claim credit for that. And then he was going to come in as kind of this guy that was coming back to rally the troops in the Republican Party. But after it appears that the red wave has essentially become like, a red wedding or, whatever, whatever you guys want to call it, it appears that Trump is now furious over Dr. Oz's loss, blaming his wife, Melania. So truly the sign of a loser, basically trying to push all the blame off. The buck stops with the president. I don't remember which president it was, if it was Truman or somebody, but he said the buck stops here. With Trump, it's the buck goes everywhere else except for here. So it says former President Donald Trump reportedly was, quote, furious Wednesday morning about Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz's loss in the crucial Pennsylvania Senate race and was blaming those in his circle, including wife Melania, for urging him to support the now failed candidate. NY Times reporter and author Maggie Haberman tweeted the stunning claim, reporting that the 45th president has described his wife's backing of Oz as not her best decision. Worth remembering that Trump is a grown man who endorsed Oz over the objection of some people close to him and instead went beyond just endorsing and attacked Republican primary candidate Dave McCormick from the stage at a rally, Haberman added. It says Trump is livid and screaming at everyone after last night's disappointing midterm results for GOP, according to a Trump advisor, Acosta tweeted. The advisor went on to slam the former president's handpicked contenders. They were all bad candidates. Candidates mattered, the advisor said. And so you have a lot of stuff going on here where people are now focusing on candidate quality. Of course, we see Herschel Walker is another one in Georgia, which that one's going to be going to a runoff. But the red wave certainly did not happen the way that it was supposed to. And this really does mess up Trump because Trump in his head, what his idea was, the Republicans are going to win a bunch of races. He was going to claim credit, some of which, he would have supposedly credit for because he endorsed others. He would just be taking and stealing credit from anyways. But it's not working out at all. And so this throws a wrench into his presidential plans because now there won't be much momentum behind his presidential announcement that's supposed to be, according to reports, imminent. And I definitely think he's going to run. And the question of who's going to win, Trump or Biden, I think is a whole separate debate in and of itself that's really, really interesting. And I'll definitely do a separate video on this. But what we can see here is that, Trump chose Dr. Oz, which was a weird pick because he wasn't really clearly political on one side. So picking him for the Republicans was like a weird pick. I think he would say like good stuff about Affordable Care Act sometimes and say some right-wing stuff. He's obviously a grifter, a scammer, a fraud, and a liar altogether. And it was kind of bizarre that Trump went with him. I think the report said that, because they were both like television heads, that he kind of related to him. And so that was like a big reason why he ended up endorsing him. But it was a very bizarre choice. Herschel Walker, another really terrible, like Dr. Oz is a bad candidate. I would say Herschel Walker is like one of the worst candidates I've ever seen. I've definitely one of the worst ones I've seen in my lifetime personally, which hasn't been that long, obviously. But it appears that Trump is really, really angry right now because his whole plans and everything are just completely destroyed. And it's hilarious to see this.